Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain, back for some more Dungeons & Dragons Online. Alright, so here we are again in Sharn. So we're going to continue off with our Cogs quests. So again, you can access this directly from here, inside of the Sharn. Now the quests themselves, they are walk-ups. For this one, it's super easy to get to. So instead of heading out the door that we're facing, we actually want to turn around, kind of head out the northeastern or top right side of this giant circle. And we're going to head out this path here. So once here, we want to make an immediate right, and the quest is basically right there. So super easy to get to. And here we are. Now, for this quest here, there are a couple of interesting aspects to it. And one of which is actually the puzzles here. So, I am going to show you the puzzles, and I'll show you also how to solve them as well. Now, the puzzles, in order to easily solve them, they need to be in their starting positions. So if you've already stepped on them, they won't work quite so well. Alright, so right when we start in, you know what, let's grab our buffs first here. Alright. So the way that you're supposed to solve them, I'll start with that actually, is we actually have to set all of them to that position. So it does say 1, so we have to set them all to a 1. Now the way this puzzle works is when you step on a block, it takes 1 from all the surrounding areas. So if I was to step on that 1, it would take from everything around it, which is only this one because these ones have no count. So this would become a 2, and that would go down 1, become a 1. If I was to step on here, it would become a 1. Taking from here, this would become a gray block there. Alright, so the first thing we need to do to solve this one here is actually step on this one. From here, we're going to want to step on here. This one here. And then finally, these front two. Now they're all set to the 1. It'll open up a secret path, providing some little stone golems here. Now, of course, if you don't want to deal with all those extra, puzzles, you don't have to. That is not a requirement of this quest. But it does provide you with a little extra XP, as they are the security codes. That is the optional there for them. Big old tanky boys. Alright, so from this room here, if you didn't want to solve that, you can actually just head forward to the door right there. Which, honestly, once you solve that first one, it is actually easier. It also gives you a chest here. But it's actually easier to go through that door, in my opinion, than it is to go through this section here. So this one here, we just got some buttons. You touch the buttons, it opens up a little portal. Now, as I was mentioning, I actually find it easier to head through the door than I do through that dimension door because of where it places it. Now, what I want to point out here is there are some traps right on the other side there. But we also have the door. So just be careful here. Now, when you go through the door, as you see, you do get waylaid by a bunch of guys. However, these guys, honestly, sorry about that. You honestly are going to have to deal with them regardless. But rather than dealing with a couple at a time, you're actually put in a position where you're dealing with all of them at once. So, again, this is why I do recommend going through this door rather than the side door, that dimension door there. So grab our little bear traps. Alright, so there we are. So once in here, want to head off to the right. And we're going to see all these guys here. Alright, so all these guys that we fought, this is actually where they would have popped us out. So again, we would have had to deal with all of them regardless. Just now we would have been tossed into the middle of that whole fight. And that's not fun, to be honest. So now that we got these fights mostly defeated, of course, it's still there. Alright, well. They did it, so can I. Alright, so here we are for a second puzzle. This one here, it does show a... Ooh, and we got one of our keys. So yeah. Also be on the lookout for keys while you're smashing boxes, which I definitely recommend doing, as there is an optional for smashing. Is. Alright. So I think we got him now, so we're just gonna grab these breakables. Now at the very top here, we do have a couple of buttons we can push. And that will disable something. Just wanted to disable the fire. Either way, what we're going to be doing is actually going for this puzzle here. So we're going to get up one more level. That way we can see it from the very top. So for this one here, if you noticed above the door, we got to set everything to a 2. So for this one here, alright, I just got to position myself to the right spot here, which is here. So here we can see it's supposed to be set to 2s. Now you want to be on this side where your bottom is 1, 4, 0. Now our first one is we want to actually fall down on the 0. The next one is we want to step on this 1. Then we want to step on this 0. This 0. And then finally this one here. Now we'll set everything to 2 and complete that, opening our door here, which again gives us another chest. As you can see, you can use the bear trap to trap these guys. Just loot chest for us. And another bear trap here. You will notice these buttons on the side that we can push. And then again we got a nice little loot chest here. Now as we're pushing all these little buttons, there's an optional for that, so push all the buttons. So as you can see, you do need to get in here to be able to do that. So you also notice over here, the fire has actually now gone down at this point, allowing us to continue further in this way. Again, don't worry if it hasn't. You can actually just sneak around from the start there. So again, we have a whole bunch of breakables that you can grab in this room, or rather in this section, each of which counts towards smashing all the smuggled goods. So as you see, it's kind of a mess to get up higher, but you do want to do that so that you can kill everybody, and having ranged really does come in handy in this one here. Alright, so up towards the shrine, as you break the boxes, you'll also notice another key. At this point you should have two different keys, a silver and an iron. Now, you can actually use this to get in this door, though as you can see, you can also hop right past it there. But we will just open it. Alright, so now that that door is unlocked, we do want to push forward north. Now again, two directions. We want to start off by heading off to the right. And we should see Speaker of the Slain. And we'll also see a whole... Oh. Look at these guys interrupting us. Alright, so let's get a quick re-heal. So these guys are a bunch of Forge Wraiths. So again, you gotta watch out for that fire damage. But you can go ahead and take them out. As you see, they do drop fairly quickly. So once they're dead, we do have a chest up top. And again, we can continue. Now you'll notice that we have two doors here. So we can head off to the north. And again, we'll have some special cargo, but as you can see, a whole lot of enemies do come out of here, including, for our luck, 2 Carnage Reapers. There we go. So pulling them out here, as you can see, some of them, including the boss, tend to rubber band. So this will allow you to kill the trash first, or a majority of the trash, before heading in to finish off the job. So again, a little bit of a hit point buffer on the boss here, but it's nothing too major. As you can see, he is a requirement to complete. And once he dies, kind of spawns in a whole bunch of new friends for us to play with. So essentially they will come out of our hidden side bit here, and as you can notice, we do have a button to push. Alright, so that's done. We also have a button to push up top. Alright, so now that we've done this section here, we can head on through our flaming door. and there are a few forge wraiths left. We're also going to have another puzzle right here. So before we start with that, I am going to attack some forge wraiths, pull them down to us. As you can see, they can fly, which actually kind of makes them a little bit more terrifying. But I mean, ultimately, again, not too difficult or dangerous. Now at this point, if you are looking carefully, we do have a control panel that we can activate, which will open up our door and unlock our chest. But again, if we want to get the full bonus here, we are going to need to solve all the puzzles. I'm just going to give myself a jump. Now, for this puzzle, it is actually somewhat easy here. Again, we do just need to position ourselves to the correct starting position, so I just need to find that here. Alright, so this is it here. So for this one, we need to set everything to a number 3 position. Except I'm just alright, so I actually need to put it here, I believe. So the first one that we need to step on is this number 1. Now we'll lift all that one there. Once you're done, hop down. And the next one we need to step on is, again, our number 1. Finally, we gotta step on this one here. So, boom. And solved. So essentially, just keep touching the one that has the number 1 on it, and it'll solve it for you. Now our last puzzle is actually our easiest one, and that is located at the back of the room here with this chest. So again, we can use the control panel to unlock it, and get some free loot. But in order to actually solve this one, here's our puzzle. All we gotta do is turn them all to a number 2. And it's simple enough. You just, again, step on the 1, and then this one here. So you do get a bit of XP for them. Again, not required in order to complete. Honestly, the only thing left you have to do is to smash the special cargo, which is located in this room here, and to defeat the forge wraiths. So here we go. Now we need to actually start by heading upwards. So the easy way to do that is to come to the northern section of the room and start heading up the little track. It will let us see the forge wraiths and attack them. Now in here, we can hop off to the side, and we'll be able to get and attack these special cargo boxes. Now they will be the glowing boxes that you will see in this room. Again, you can use range damage to attack them and break them, or you can head on over to them and melee them. So from here, we want to come around. We got ourselves another button, and then we can head up. this will lead us to some additional forge wraiths. Up the ladder. We'll have another box. And we'll have several more forge wraiths that we can actually see. There we go. So now we've killed all the forge wraiths. All that's left is one additional special cargo and 3 more buttons. Now, as you'll see here on the back wall, we do have a chest here. This chest is tied to the buttons. As you push the buttons in this room, it will open up for our chest. But the objective is to find it. So our last crate is actually going to be against that back wall. That will give us the completion. But again, if we want to get that extra loot, we do need to push the other buttons. So in order to get to that chest, we're going to go from this cog, kind of hop across the chandeliers, onto the crates. Now we have one button over here. So there that one is. From this position, we want to hop on the crates again, kind of hop back to this platform. And now we're going to want to hop over, so I'm going to hop on here, over to here. And again, we're going to want to hop on these little chandeliers, except I fell. So yeah, it does require a bit of a jumping and a little bit extra, but like I said, it is optional, so it's not required to complete, but it does provide some named loot here. So however you want to find your way back up. Alright. So let's give this another go. And then you just want to follow these chandeliers around. And here's our last button. Touch. Our chest is now open. So we can head over there and do that. Now I want to point out, in order to open the chest, you only need the buttons in this room. So if you missed a button like we did, yeah, if you missed a button like we did, you can still open the chest as long as you get the buttons in this room here. But of course you can. And we got the armor. So as you can see, you can get some armors out of these ones here. And a morning star. So there is some nice loot that you can get out. All depends on what you're looking for. The last button, again, I'm not exactly sure where it is. We did miss it. But ultimately, to get your end loot chest, you just need to hit 3 buttons in this room. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a blast, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good one all.